And this, of course, is something meteorologist Sarah Knox had her eye on all day yesterday. So did we actually see some confirmed tornadoes? I mean, they said yes near Mankato. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And interestingly enough, the cell that produced that tornado did get into our area.
Okay.
Didn't produce any tornadoes. In fact, once it passed 35, it shrunk to basically nothing. It was pretty fascinating to watch. It also dropped some very large hail, almost 2-inch diameter hail was reported from that particular cell. All right, but that was yesterday. Let's move on to today because we also see a chance for storms. In fact, some of us have already seen evidence of it, Mason City included. Now, not a ton of rain has come over the city itself, but we can see some fresh, wet rooftops, a little bit on the roadways as well. Not to mention, been watching some of these structures in the distance. The clouds are gray. They have the moisture. It's no surprise. We have the instability. Dew points have been relatively high today. Not quite as high as yesterday, and those numbers will keep dropping. But we've already seen really the temperatures drop also, which means that a little bit of the energy is getting sucked away. It is getting wrung out, as I like to say, wrung out in the atmosphere. So Mason City is now sitting at 69, Forest City at 70 degrees, not too far away. We still have temperatures closing in on 80, 79 in Winona, 83 in La Crosse. So it really tells you where most of this activity has been centered. Rain often cools things down, and when we take a peek at satellite and radar, we can easily see where the rain is. For the most part, it has been staying south of I-90, just starting to barely cross. It's getting into an atmosphere that's maybe not quite as ready for this rainfall, so not expecting anything too crazy further north, but a little further to the south. We'll take a peek at North Iowa right now, where some of the strongest of the rain can be found. Just south of 18. Highway 18 seems to be the barrier right there. Oh, we're still seeing some yellows, oranges, maybe a rumble of thunder or two a little further to the north. I did mention Mason City not necessarily seeing a ton of rain right now, but it's all around. And yeah, the threat does continue into the evening because just a quick look to the west, we can see plenty more activity to be had. But once again, the further north it goes, the weaker it gets. And that is why we aren't seeing a severe threat further to the north. But many of us do fall under that level 1 risk. Now, level 1 isn't the highest threat. We've seen higher. Yesterday was an example. But it does mean isolated severity is possible. And if these storms develop, become severe, they really give us a chance of seeing some strong damaging wind gusts. We're talking severe category, 60+ miles per hour, and larger hailstones, quarter up when it comes to that. Now, Future Track isn't really picking up on a lot of the activity that we are seeing. It's trying to. You can see a few of those spots. It happens. It's the summertime. It's very difficult when these storms want to pop up and develop, but it does do a decent job of picking up what we're seeing further off to the west. So will that come our way? Well, it's also picking up on the fact that many of us just don't have that environment ready for these storms to just stay alive. By 10 p.m., I do expect many more of us to still see rain, but anything too strong, not really expecting it. In fact, we have rain chances continuing even into our Wednesday over the next 36 hours. This is just an estimate of how much rainfall we could be seeing. Places like Forest City looking to get some of the most. And then Albert Lee, Austin area also looking at quite a bit. Now, this is concerning because we've seen so much rain. Flood threats definitely in play right now. A flood warning at the Winnebago River, minor flood stage is expected, or rather in the forecast, as these rain chances continue. At least we have some spots of drier air Thursday, as well as the weekend, where we reach into the 90s. Cammie.